Hello and welcome to week 3, square 2 of the Wrapped in Jamie Crochet Along. My name is Petra. I am the designer of the CAL and I'm also your host. So this week we're going to make square 2, which is called Sawny in reference to the nickname that is engraved in the little snake that Willie, who is Jamie's brother, gave to Jamie when he was still young. It's very precious to Jamie because Willie died of the smallpox in 1727, and now Jamie is the heir of Lallybrook. So it's a very significant part in Jamie's life, and that's why I have created this square and called it Sawny. Hope you can see that there's a little snake there. Okay, so let's get into it. I like to start with a magic circle, and I do this by wrapping my yarn around and across, then go under, pull yarn through, and then pull it through that loop. So that's it already. Just pull it tight. Some people like to make a chain. I don't. I start with a looser loop. So we do single crochet, chain 2, single crochet, chain 2, another 2 times, single crochet, chain 2. Have to pull it a little bit tighter, and then again single crochet, chain 2. Now we pull the ring tight. Usually it makes a little sound. I didn't hear it, but I could feel it. So now, see, sometimes if you do a chain 2 to get up from the magic ring, then, or magic circle, then there is a little bubble here. I don't like these bubbles. So this is the first stitch of our corner, and we just slip stitch into here. And I like to work away my tail as I go because I don't like weaving in ends, and I'm curious to see the one who does. So that's always our beginning. That's the same in every round. And then to go up, I do chain 1. If you are confident in finding your first stitch, you can either leave it and find your first, or you just mark it with a stitch marker. Doing our first corner, and it's always the same. Single crochet, chain 2, single crochet. What's wrong with me today? So then we've got this stitch here, and in this case we have a single crochet in round 2, and I ask your forgiveness about the cat hair. Possible to avoid. So we've got the corner, then 1 single crochet, and then the corner again, next single crochet after the corner, and working away my tail as I go. Next corner, single crochet, chain 2, single crochet, and here comes the last single crochet on the side, and then we have to find the first stitch, which is quite easy. This is the chain with which we went up to the next row, and this is the first single crochet in the corner. It will always be this one that we make the slip stitch into. So this is what every round 2 will look like. So here we are back in round 2, and we start with a chain 1. And a corner. So if I say corner, you know it'll be single crochet, chain 2, single crochet. That's what the corner is. Full stop. So now we've got 3 stitches on this side, and in those 3 stitches we'll make a single crochet in the back loop, both loops, and the back loop again. So we do that all the way around, and because it's such a short round, I quickly do it for you, or with you. Back loop, both loops, back loop, and corner. And back loop, both loops, back loop, corner. One more time. Let me do this again. Finish the corner, and then make sure you find the first stitch after a corner. It really likes to hide behind the second single crochet of the corner. It's very important that you make sure that you find the first stitch. We said back loop, both loops, back loop, and again closing with a slip stitch into the top of the first stitch, and that's already round 3 done. As a little exercise, just try and see those front loops. If you have difficulty finding those front loops, you can just use some stitch markers and put them in so you can find them better later. If you can get used to seeing those front loops, that would make your life much easier. Yeah, so just try and see them. So this is the whole stitch, and this is, you see the horizontal bar here, so this means that there is a front loop that we can work into later, which we will be doing. Round 4. Again, chain up, single crochet, chain 2, single crochet into the corner. And if you like, just pull a little bit to make sure you find the first stitch. In this case, we are making a front post half double crochet around the first stitch here. Pull through all 3. And the next stitch, you see how convenient we've got this horizontal bar. That's the front loop. We need to go in for the next stitch, and it's just a normal double crochet. single crochet in the next. So we skip the stitch behind here, and again a double crochet into the front loop. We have to make a front post half double crochet again around the next, so that's the last stitch here. So we go around this stitch for the front post half double crochet, and then we have to go into the corner. Great, just do it again. Front post half double crochet around, pull through all 3. We skipped the stitch behind, which is, you know, a bit warped anyway now. So do you see in the front loop of the next stitch, run round below, a single crochet, again a double crochet in the front loop of the stitch, one round below, and the last stitch is a front post half double crochet, and we're back in the corner. Okay, so do this one more time, and then at the end I show you how to close this round. Yeah, just do it for this side and the other, and I'll be back. So I'm back on the fourth side, and I've already done the first and second, the front post half double crochet, the double crochet in the front loop, the single crochet, and now I do another double crochet into the front loop. Here we go. And now around which stitch should I go? Very easy, around this one. And you see, yeah, this is the front loop, and then that's the first. Yep, see that little gap here. So we go around here, front post half double crochet, pull, oops, that's not gonna work, like this, and then we slip stitch into the first stitch, really easy to find. And that's it with round 4. Square 2, round 5. Super boring actually, because after the chain 1 and the corner, which we always do, always pull, always make sure you find the first stitch, and then just single crochet across. Really super easy. And then close into the top of the first stitch with a slip stitch. That will be your round 5. Easy peasy. And just like that, we are in round 6 already. Did you notice that it was a little bit harder to get into this stitch? Totally normal, nothing to worry about. You're doing fine. So again, chain 1 or chain up, corner, and pull, yep, to find the first stitch. Now we don't do a single crochet. We start with a front post half treble 2A 2B, which means from here, this would be our next stitch. So we count 2 ahead from here, 1, 2, and then 2 rounds below, 1, 2. So this would be the corner, and then we've got this. Remember the front post half double crochet we did? That's the one we want. So yarn over twice, find that front post. That's why we did it, just to get a bit of substance here that we can work around. Work around and through all three. So that's the front post half treble. We do that again. Yarn over twice into the next stitch, which is also from the next one. So we worked this. So now from this here, 1, 2 ahead, 1, 2 rounds below. Front post half treble, around, and half treble. If you're asking why we're not just doing a normal front post double crochet, this gives us a little bit more height and a little bit more leeway. And don't worry if those loops are a little bit bigger than the others. They shouldn't be too big compared to the normal loops here. But yeah, we'll work around, so for now it's not really important. So now we've done 2 stitches, which means we have to skip 2 stitches in the back. Let me get this straight for you. So here was the last stitch made into, let me show you. So last stitch made into the corner. So 1, 2, we have to skip those. So the next stitch will be this one. But I need my yarn in here first. So this one. Okay. And it will be just a normal single crochet. We do 4 more. So 5 single crochet. 2, 3, 5. Yeah, you've got 2 single crochet left in the end. So you know, just in case you can't find them, just count backwards. So again, front post half treble. Now around the front post, around the DC from the earlier round. And another front post half treble around that where the front post half DC. And through all 3 loops. So we have to skip those 2 stitches and we go directly into the corner. Yeah. So on this side you should have 9 stitches plus the 2 from the corner on each side, which is 11 stitches. And just do this on the other sides and then close into the top. So after you've done the front post half treble around the last stitch, here the front post half DC from earlier, then just go directly into the first stitch with a slip stitch, and that'll be a round 6 already. Round 7 is another boring round where we single crochet all the way across from one side to the other, and it should be 11 single crochet into each side, and in the end you will have 13 because you've got the 11 here and then you've got those corner stitches on the right and the left, or on the left and the right if you're left-handed. So just do this all the way around. Make sure to find the first stitch here. This is the first stitch after the corner, and just single crochet across. And when you've done that, let's just pretend you've done that, all around, blah blah blah, and then you go into the first stitch of the corner with a slip stitch. And remember, this almost looks like a stitch, but it is not. It is just the chain that we did to get up to the height. If you don't like this, if it irritates you, just leave it out. Mark your first stitch with a stitch marker. Oh, I forgot to get the stitch markers. Yeah, I'll get them now for you, just to show you. Okay, doke. So around and close, and that's round 7 done. I'll see you for round 8. So we're doing round 8, and we start with the usual preparation, going up with a chain 1, single crochet, and now I've got my stitch marker. We just put it in here to give you an example how to do it when you're using a stitch marker. Chain 2 and single crochet. Okay, so there we go. Pull to the side to get the first stitch, in which we have a single crochet. Next we do a single crochet into the back loop only, BLO, then 2 single crochet, and the next stitch is one of those fancy ones. It's a front post half treble, 2B, 2B. So this would be our next stitch. So we go back 1, 2, and we start counting on this row because this one is from the current row. 1, 2. So see, there is a little gap. That's because this is the stitch we made. Instead of making it in here, we had that front post around the half DC. So this is the stitch we are looking for. Front post half treble, yarn over twice, around that stitch, 1, and through all 3. So that's one of those done, and we need another one. Yarn over twice again, and we go around the next stitch. Through 2 loops, through 3 loops. Now that we've done 2 stitches, we have to skip 2. 1, 2. So our next stitch will go in here, and that will be a single crochet, which is in the middle of the side. And the next stitch again is now going forward. Another fancy one, front post half treble, 2A, 2B. So now we're going ahead. So this would be our current stitch. Then we go ahead 1, 2, 1, 2 rounds below. See how this is the front post? That's the one we want. 1 through 2 through 3. Okay, and another one, front post half treble, 2A, 2B. So A means ahead, and the second part stands for the row, 2 rounds below. That's this one done. And again, we have to skip. So this is the stitch we worked in last. 1, 2. This will be our next stitch. And we make 1, 2 single crochet, then a back loop, stitch, single crochet in the back loop, and the last is a single crochet again, and then we're back in the corner. So right, let's recap. We do a single crochet in the back loop, then 2 single crochet. Then we've got the front post half trebles. This one is 2B, 2B. 2B means 2 behind, 2 rounds below. 1 single crochet. Front post half treble, 2A, 2B. Ahead. And then again, 2 single crochet, back loop, single crochet corner. That's it. Just repeat it on the other 3 sides. And see, I found that stitch marker and I marked the first single crochet. So that's where you make the slip stitch in to close this round. Easy peasy. Just do it, and we are back for round 9 then. A good idea for round 9 is to use your stitch marker, just one, and place it in the top of the stitches just before the stitch from the previous round that has the front loop, where we only had a single crochet in the back loop. So we have the front loop left, this horizontal bar. So place the stitch in the top loops. That's the fourth, 2, 3, the fourth stitch from the corner, from the opposite corner. And then I've already made the corner here. And now let's start with 2 single crochet. Then we have a single crochet in the back loop, and that's your first marker. It should be above the stitch where we had the single crochet in the back loop only as well in the previous round. So that is one of our markers. And our next stitch is again a single crochet. And then we have one of those stitches that look complicated but that are not. It is a stitch called treble 2B 1B slash FP DC2 together, DC together. So what that means is it's a treble and a front post together. So the first leg on this side is a treble leg. We yarn over twice and we go back 2B 1B. 2B means 2 stitches back. This is our current stitch. We go 1, 2 stitches back and 1 below. So it's the front loop that's been made in the round before. So we insert the hook there, yarn over, pull through 2, and again pull through 2, but leave 2 loops on the hook. Now for the next leg, which is only a DC, we yarn over only once, and then we go around the stitch that is 1 ahead and 1 below. So that is the half treble from the previous round. It's this stitch. We go around, yarn over once, and now yarn over and through all 3 loops on the hook. Now we have to skip the stitch that is behind, and the next stitch goes into the first of those loops behind the previous half trebles here. So we're closing that gap. So you don't need to look, oh, which stitch do I need to skip? We just go directly into those front loops. So 2 DCBB, 2 double crochet behind and below. So we worked in the back, now we work in the front again. We have 1 single crochet between those half trebles, and we work 1 single crochet again. Now we're going in reverse order from this side, so we go back again and do the DCBB. 1 and the second one. Almost losing because I'm not closing those. Let's keep it behind. So our next stitch is a mirror of the front post DC. So we're doing of the treble DC. So we're doing a DC treble. So our first leg of this 2 together stitch goes around the second half treble as a DC, or only a half DC, because we leave 2 loops on the hook, yarn over twice, and now we go ahead for the treble part, for the treble leg of the stitch. So we go in the only front loop that's available for us, go through 2, go through 2, and now we go through all 3. And now you maybe can see why it was a good idea to have the stitch marker, because that is the next stitch we're going into with a single crochet. and then we have a single crochet in the back loop only, and just to check again, it should be exactly above the other single crochet that we made in the back loop only as well. And we have 2 single crochet left before we are at the corner. So that is your round 9. Looks complicated, but it is easy. Just complete and we meet for round 10. For round 10, I would love to introduce you to the chart, because it is a great help in finding where to place those stitches. So round 10 here, we have 1 single crochet, then there is a treble 2A to B, 1 2 ahead, 1 2 below, then there is a half treble 1A 1B, 1 ahead, 1 below, and each of them go into the front loops. So the first goes in the front loop we already made a stitch in, and the second could be, the front loop for the second could be hidden a little bit behind that. Then we have 2 single crochet, then we have a treble 2AB 1B 2 together, which means it's a treble with 2 legs, one goes behind and one goes ahead, and one leg goes into the front loop and the other goes into the top of stitch 2 down 2 rounds below. Then we have 1 2 3 4 5 single crochet, and then we have this treble 2 together stitch mirrored. So now the first leg goes into the top loops of the stitch previously, and the second leg goes into the front loop, which is 1 2 ahead and only and 1 2 below. Then we have the half treble 1B 1B, and then the treble 1 2B 2 behind, 1 2 below. Okay, so and then there is 1 single crochet left in the end. Please use those resources, they are here for a reason. Okay, so let's get started. Let's get started. We have the chain 1 and the corner. One single crochet, and then the treble 2A to B, and we know it goes into this front loop. So yarn over twice, insert the hook. It's just a normal treble. Then the next is the half treble, so yarn over twice again, and we go into the front loop of the stitch directly above the one that we made previously, and it's the only front loop that's available for us, so we know we need to use this and go through all 3, because this is shorter, but we want the substance and the weight of the stitch. So a DC wouldn't do, we need that weight. Now we made two stitches, now we have to skip 2. 1 2, this is our next stitch, and our next stitch is, let me check what it was to be sure, 2 single crochet, 2 single crochet, and now, so the second those single crochets should be between the half treble and this treble 2 together stitch from the round before. So the second is just before this usually bigger loop. Now we have another 2 stitch together, which is that treble that I mentioned before. Yarn over twice, and we go back into the same front loop as we made the half treble ahead, go through 2, go through 2, and leave 2 loops on the hook. Now the second leg is a treble leg again, which we make into the front to the top loops of the stitch that is 2 rounds below. So we made the stitch 2 rounds below. It looks like it's only one, but that's because it's the top loops. So we made the stitch 2 rounds below. And we have the treble 2 together. Now it is only one stitch, so we skip only one. Next are our 5 single crochet. 1, 2, and the third single crochet should go into the single crochet from the previous round that we made between those 2 other stitches. 3, and from here on the design is mirrored, so we're going back in a design way. Yeah, so it's just a mirror of what we did previously. So we do another 2 single crochet, then we want to go around this stitch. So our first leg goes into the top of the treble, go through 2 and go through 2, leave 2 loops on the hook, and yarn over twice again, and the second leg goes into the front loop of the stitch 1 round below. It's the next available front loop. Go through 2, go through 2, and go through all 3. Alright, so now we skip the stitch behind. We have 2 single crochet, and then we go back into this stitch that we made the 2 together stitch in with a half treble. Go into the loop, pull through 2, pull through all 3, and then a treble into the loop just 1 below. So it's 2 back and 2 below. It's this front loop. Now we should have one stitch left when we skip 2, 1, 2, and here is our last stitch as it should be. So that's the single crochet stitch, and in case you wonder where all the cat hair comes from, my little Lily has just placed herself So we're back in the corner. That's round 10. Looks complicated, but it really is not. So just repeat that on the other sides, and then we continue with round 11. So is your head still spinning from round 10? I can promise you round 11 is a very relaxed and easy round. So after the corner, just start with 2 single crochet. The next we have to work behind those stitches. So 2 DCBB. 1 and 2, because now we want to close some gaps, otherwise it gets a bit messy. 2 single crochet again. 1, 2, and in case you're wondering, they're just in between those forwards and backwards trebles. we do a DCBB behind that treble 2 together, and now 5 single crochet into the single crochet from the previous round. 2, 3, 4 and 5, and we're already going backwards now, doing the same, just symmetrically on the other side, going the other way. DCBB, 2 single crochet, another 2 DCBB after that, 1 and 2, and of course we skip those stitches in the front, and we are left with 2 single crochet. Didn't I promise it would be easy? See. 2 single crochet, 2 DCBB, 2 single crochet, 1 DCBB, 5 single crochet, 1 DCBB, 2 single, 2 behind, 2 single. That's it for this round. Just do it all the way around. Slip stitch into the first to close the round, and I'll be back for round 12. Round 12 is also a very relaxed round. Let me walk you through before we do it. Really relaxed. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 single crochet. Then we have 2 front post treble 2B 2B. So 1, 2 back, 1, 2 below. So 1 is going the first. So here we are. We'll be around here. So the first will go around here. The second will go around this stitch. Yeah, so just that, like you see here. See, so that will be this. Then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 single crochet, and then we do the same. The front post treble, this time 2A, 1, 2, 1, 2 around. So the stitch goes around, and another one, and then we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 single crochet. Okay, really easy, very relaxed. Let's do it. Corner, and then we said 5. Find the first, make sure it's not hidden. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 single crochet. Then front post treble, so yarn over twice. We go 2 back, 1, 2. We already established that. It's this one. So that's 1, and then we do another one around the next, which is here. Next stitch from the previous rounds, 1, 2, and through all. So we skip 1, 2, and starting with a stitch above this treble. That's our next. 1, 2, 3, 4, and you can just check to see the 4th must be in the middle, which it is, just in case you want to double check. 5, what's with yarn? 6 and 7. So now we find the stitches we need to work around. First one is this. Yarn over twice and treble around. 1, 2, 3. Again, yarn over twice, treble around. 1, 2, 3. So then we skip 2 stitches, 1, 2, and this will be our next stitch, or you count back 1, 2, 3. Oh, see? Lucky we did, because I used the wrong one. You count back? Yeah, 1, 2. This one it is. Count back 5. So let's double check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's correct. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. How easy was that? And we're back in the corner. Yep. 5, 2, 7, 2, 5. So single crochet, then the front post trebles, 7 single crochet, front post treble 2A to B, 2 of them, and then 5 single crochet and back in the corner. So rewind, do it again all around and close with a slip stitch to the first stitch. And I'll see you in round 13 already. Round 13 is also an easy one. Chain up, corner, and back here. So 6 single crochet. Make sure you find the first, always looking that it's not hidden. 3, 4, 5, and 6. Now we've got a front post DC around this stitch here. Front the next stitch from below. Front. And then 7, so we skip those. 7 single crochet, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So again, front post DC. We could also make a half DC, but we really need the height, so a DC it is. Skip the 2 stitches behind and 6 single crochet. 1, 2, 3, 4. Look at my yarn, all tangled. 5. And last one, and we are back in the corner. How easy was that? See, so this will give us a good height in preparation for the next round or the round after that. Just repeat on the other sides and close with a slip stitch to the first stitch of the corner here. Yeah, all easy. And we meet back for round 14. Our beloved round 14 is upon us. Here we go. 1, 2, corner. Okay, so let's do this. We need this loop, the third loop. 1, 2. And you know, the funny thing is that now that I'm showing you, being behind the tablet and everything and filming it, it seems very slow. But if I do it looking directly at it, it's much faster. But if you really struggle with the third loop, here's what you can do. You just do back post stitches. Yeah, like that. But you have to be continuous, and that will have a very similar effect. You get those two stitches here to the front. It's a little bit, you see, it is a little bit different. Here you've got those vertical bars. Here it's slightly slanted. So it looks a little bit different. So you have to make a choice to do either third loops or back post stitches, but you can do either one of them. Just be continuous throughout. Go around and make sure you get the last third loop, which is this one, and then, no, it is this one, because that is the chain up, and then you just slip stitch into those two the top loops here of the first single crochet in the corner, just like we usually do. Okay, so just be consistent, choose one option, be consistent with it, don't change around. You see, you can see it. And if you can't do the third loops, which I think they are worth it, then do the back post stitches. The effect will be very similar. Okay, and I see you for round 15. Round 15. We go up into the next round with a chain 1, single crochet, chain 2, single crochet into the corner, find the first stitch, and 7 single crochet, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Now we've got 2 half treble in each of the tops of those stitches here. Those were front post double crochet from round 13. So half treble, 2 half treble in each of them. So that's 2 in the first, and then 1 and 2 in the second. Now we made 4 stitches, so we skip 4. 1, 2, 3, 4 stitches, and this is the first one. 5 single crochet, 2, 3, 4, 5, and again 2 half treble in each top of the front post double crochet from round 13. So that's the first and the second, and again first and second into the top loops of those stitches. Then again skip 4. 1, let's do it this way. 1, 2, 3, 4, skip, and we've got 7 single crochet left before we are at the corner. 6 and 7, so that was correct, and we're in the corner again already. So there you have it. Yep, 7, 2, 2, 5, 2, 2, 7. Easy. Do it all the way around and close with a slip stitch into the first single crochet here, and I meet you for round 16. Back for round 16 with a chain 1, single crochet, chain 2, single crochet into the corner space, and we're starting with 8 single crochet, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So you should be the 8th single crochet should be the last one before those half trebles. Now we've got 4 double crochet behind and below. 1, 2, 3, and 4. There we go. Now we skip those in the front, and we've got another 5 single crochet, 4, 5, which brings us again directly in front of those half trebles, and again 1, 2, 3, 4. There we have the first one, DC behind and below, 2, 3, 4 DC, and the back. So skip those in the front. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So that's it. Really easy. 8 single crochet, 4 DC behind and below, 5 single crochet, 4 DC behind and below, and the last 8. Do this all the way around as usual and slip stitch into the first single crochet of the corner. That will be your round 16, and we meet again for round 17. So for round 17, I've already done the chain up in the corner, and I have placed a stitch marker in the 4th of each of the 4 DCBB groups. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and oh, I lost it again. And 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, so we've got the stitch markers in here. They will later help us to find the correct stitches again. It just makes things easier. So we start off with 10 single crochet, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and the 10th should go into the top of the first DC from the group here. So now we do DC2 together. So we start with the first leg around the first of those stitches. Don't finish the DC yet. Yarn over again, second leg around the second stitch. That's the half treble, one of the half trebles that we did into those tops here. And now we DC them together. And we do the same again for the next 2 stitches. So leg 1 goes around a third of those half trebles, yarn over again like 2 around the second, and then together. So because that scrunches everything up a little bit, we just simply go into the stitch with a marker and continue with our single crochets to 7 altogether. And the first again goes into the top of the first of those 4 DCs of that group. Again, DC2 together. Don't finish off yet. Second leg, and now together, and we do the same again around the first stitch for the first leg, around the next stitch for the second leg, and now we DC them together. And because we've got the stitch marker in here, we can easily find the next stitch we have to go into, and there will be another 10 single crochet. And we're already in the corner here. So, okay, so go ahead and repeat on the other 3 sides, and then close as usual with a slip stitch into the top of the first single crochet here. And then we meet for round 18, and keep those stitch markers, we need them again. So for round 18, I have placed a stitch marker in the 13th stitch from the starting corner here, and in the 11th stitch from the opposite corner that we're working towards. So that's the second of the top of the second of the DC2 togethers, and on this side it's the stitch just before the last DC2 together. So we've got those 2, and it's the next stitch. So 11 from this side and 13 from this side. And I've already started the chain 1 and the corner, and we have 11 single crochet now. So the 11th stitch, the 11th single crochet brings you just in front of the DC2 together. So now we've got a front post single crochet around those 2 DC2 together from the previous round, and it's a big loop around. Not take it out yet. Insert the hook first and then take it out, just to make sure that we are in the right and we find the right stitch, and that we are in the right stitch then. So now take it out, and we've got 9 single crochet to do now. And 9, so the 9th will fall in the top of the DC2 together here. Now we front post single crochet around those 2, and the next stitch goes into the stitch with the marker. So we can now take it out. Doesn't want to. And we've got another 11 single crochet towards the corner. And that is one side done in round 18 then. So it's really not spectacular, quite easy, a relaxed round as well. Just need to count your stitches as usual. Make sure you're in the right stitches. You find the first that likes to hide under the second single crochet off the corner, and then place your stitch markers if you have some. Otherwise just use some scrap yarn, that works as well. And here you go. So that's easy. Okay, 11 single crochet, front post single crochet, 9 single crochet, another front post, and then 11 again towards the corner. Repeat on all 3 remaining sides and close to the top of the starting single crochet. And that's your round 18. Really easy. Round 19 is a round where you single crochet across. So start with your chain 1, the corner, and then single crochet through both loops, just normal as we always do, all the way around. And then, let me just quickly make it, then you slip stitch into the top of the first single crochet. So round 19, single crochet around. And while we're at it, round 20, if you choose to do border, round 20 is the first round of the border, or the last round in case you don't do border. If you don't do border, then round 20 will be again like round 14, single crochet either in the 3rd loops, or if you don't like that or don't want to do that, single crochet, make a back post single crochet, which will give you a similar effect to this one. So after round 20, after round 19, you have to make a choice whether to continue to round 20 and have that as your last round. Then you can leave the same color or change colors if you want. And if you do the border and want to do that in a different color, then you fasten off after, or you get the best effect if you fasten off after round 19 and start round 20 with a new color. And I'll be showing you this in an extra video, how to do the border. Okay, so now go ahead, and for now this is classified as finished because I don't need to show you how to do the single crochet around, and I don't need to show you again how to do the 3rd loops or back post single crochet. We had that already, and I'm pretty confident that you can do that without any further resistance. So I will see you either at the border or with or for the next square, which I'm looking forward to. Okay, have fun!